Welcome, friendos. Here is today's Contrarian Coding news. As of July 12, 2025, the coding and programming landscape is largely dominated by trends such as ubiquitous AI and machine learning, cloud-native and microservices architectures, the extensive JavaScript/TypeScript ecosystem, and the growing influence of low-code/no-code platforms. These mainstream approaches emphasize scalability, rapid iteration, and abstraction. However, beneath this surface, several disruptive, unorthodox, or rebellious contrarian movements are gaining traction, challenging the prevailing wisdom with alternative paradigms and often overlooked concepts. Here are some of these counterintuitive movements. 1. The fat monolith revival and local-first software. Critique of mainstream. The prevailing trend of microservices and cloud-native development, while offering scalability and organizational benefits for large enterprises, introduces significant operational complexity, distributed system challenges, latency, consistency, debugging, network dependencies, and higher resource consumption for many applications. Contrarian movement. This movement argues that for a vast majority of applications, especially internal tools, desktop applications, or even many SaaS products, a well-architected monolithic application offers simpler development, easier debugging, better performance due to fewer network hops, and lower operational overhead. It champions the modular monolith as a balanced approach, combining simplicity with clear separation of concerns. Unorthodox aspect and potential evidence. This rejects the distributed by default mantra. Historically, many successful large applications, including early versions of GitHub and Basecamp, were built as monoliths. Furthermore, the rise of the local-first software movement, which prioritizes storing data on the user's device first and syncing optionally, directly opposes cloud-centric, always-online models. This approach enhances user privacy, allows for offline functionality, and reduces recurring cloud storage fees. 2. Extreme minimalism and vanilla everything. Critique of mainstream. Modern web development often suffers from excessive complexity due to heavy frameworks, vast dependency trees, NPM bloat, and convoluted build tools, leading to JavaScript fatigue. Contrarian movement. This movement advocates for building software, particularly web applications, using only the absolute essentials: plain HTML, CSS, and vanilla JavaScript, or similarly minimal approaches for other domains. It consciously avoids large frameworks and excessive libraries, favoring a deep understanding of core web principles and a significant reduction in dependencies. The goal is to improve performance, reduce bundle sizes, simplify debugging, and minimize the attack surface from third-party code. Unorthodox aspect and potential evidence. This directly challenges the framework first and add a library for everything mentality prevalent in the industry. There's a growing sentiment among developers to rediscover the power of vanilla JavaScript for specific use cases, leading to lean, dependency-free code. This approach emphasizes understanding the underlying mechanics rather than relying solely on abstracted tooling. 3. Slow programming and formal verification. Critique of mainstream. The relentless pursuit of speed and agile methodologies, often characterized by move fast and break things and rapid iteration, can lead to rushed code, accumulating technical debt, and an increased risk of security vulnerability. Contrarian movement. Slow programming advocates for deliberate design, extensive planning, and rigorous testing, shifting the focus from velocity to correctness, reliability, and longevity. This includes a greater emphasis on formal methods, mathematical proofs of correctness for critical systems where bugs have severe consequences, like medical devices, financial systems, infrastructure. Unorthodox aspect and potential evidence. This movement is counterintuitive because it directly challenges the core tenets of mainstream Agile and DevOps culture that prioritize rapid deployment above all else. While not yet widespread, there is a continued interest in languages with strong type systems like Rust and Haskell, which inherently encourage more robust and correct code. Industries with high assurance requirements have historically employed formal methods, and the argument is for wider adoption in less traditionally critical but increasingly complex software systems. 4. Human-Centric AI and explainable simplicity. Critique of mainstream. The current dominance of large, complex, and often black box deep learning models alongside AI-driven automation that seeks to replace human roles raises concerns about transparency, bias, and control. Contrarian movement. This approach focuses on building AI systems that are transparent, explainable, and designed to augment human capabilities rather than replace them. It prioritizes simpler, inherently interpretable machine learning models or knowledge-driven systems where human understanding and intervention are paramount. It also critiques the insatiable data requirements of deep learning, advocating for small data approaches that focus on high-quality, targeted information for efficient AI performance. Unorthodox aspect. This directly challenges the bigger is better and black box mentality in AI development. Growing demand for explainable AI, XAI, is driven by regulatory pressure and ethical concerns. The concept of human-in-the-loop, AI, where human oversight, refines, and ensures the accuracy and ethical alignment of AI outputs, is gaining significant traction, particularly in sensitive domains like legal and financial services. 5. The self-contained executable and dependency aversion. Critique of mainstream. The widespread adoption of containerization, Docker, Kubernetes, and complex deployment environments while solving dependency consistency introduces its own layers of complexity, overhead, and security concerns. Contrarian movement. This movement champions producing single, self-contained executable binaries common in languages like Go and Rust with minimal or no external dependencies. The goal is to simplify deployment to just copy the file, reduce the attack surface from transitive dependencies, and maximize portability and long-term maintainability. Unorthodox aspect. This is a direct challenge to the prevailing containerization and complex orchestration paradigms. The inherent static linking capabilities of languages like Go and the compilation model of Rust make them ideal for creating such binaries. This approach offers a simpler, more secure, and resource-efficient deployment model, which can be particularly attractive for smaller services or command line tools, pushing back against the default assumption that every application needs to run in a container orchestration system. 6. Domain-specific languages as first-class citizens. Critique of mainstream. The common practice of forcing all problems into general-purpose programming languages like Python, JavaScript, Java often leads to significant boilerplate, reduced expressiveness, and a disconnect between code and domain knowledge. Contrarian movement. Instead of using general programming languages for every task, this movement advocates for the widespread creation and adoption of highly specialized domain-specific languages. These DSLs precisely capture the semantics of a particular domain, e.g., financial modeling, UI layouts, legal contracts, whether embedded within a host language or as external standalone languages. Unorthodox aspect. This challenges the one language to rule them all mentality and the fear of creating new languages or syntaxes. Successful historical DSLs like SQL and HTML CSS demonstrate their power. Modern tooling makes DSL creation more accessible, and their benefits include increased developer productivity, reduced errors, improved expressiveness, and the ability for domain experts to contribute directly to logic, fostering better collaboration between technical and non-technical stakeholders. That was the Contrarian Coding News for July 12, 2025. Be well and flourish, my friendos.